Hey guys, what's up? JK with PornReboot here. Now, have you ever felt confused about why you can't seem to figure out your porn addiction? Have you ever gotten to the point where you told yourself, or maybe you had a counselor or a therapist tell you that, you know what, if I just figured out the root cause of my addiction, everything would be okay? Now, over the past 7 years, I've helped men identify their most crippling beliefs about porn addiction and the reboot process. And today, I'll be revealing exactly why you can't break free of your porn and masturbation addiction. What I'll be doing is I'll be sharing the top 12 beliefs that I and my recovered clients have identified, which must be overcome in order for you to truly experience success in overcoming your porn addiction. Now, these beliefs, in my opinion, are the biggest obstacles to your freedom. And I highly recommend that you identify the beliefs which are holding you back while you're watching this. The first belief is, my problem with porn is because of other people. Now, you believe that it's maybe your wife's fault for letting herself go physically. Maybe she had a kid. Your dad's fault for abandoning you. Your childhood abuser's fault for taking advantage of you. And none of these things are wrong. But brother, until you move the burden of responsibility for your recovery over from others to your shoulders, you can't make progress. So the solution is to learn how to forgive and take responsibility. The second is, when you tell yourself, or when you have the belief that I don't think I can handle life without using porn and without masturbating. Basically, you can't imagine a black and white, colorless, seemingly boring life without the excitement of sexual stimuli from pornography. Like, what sort of life would that be, right? I used to think the same way too, but let me tell you this, brother. Within you, there are resources that you can't even begin to imagine. There is power, there is joy, and there is overwhelming happiness. And just like a professional boxer must take off his protective, training headgear before a fight, or just like a child who's learning how to ride a bicycle must remove the training wheels from the bicycle before he can ride it correctly, you must let go of your dependence on pornography before you can access all the better gifts that life has to offer, which are actually all within you. So let go of your crutches, step out of the sidelines, and start enjoying the game of life with the big boys, because you're not an adult until you start doing that. The third belief is, maybe I can just use porn occasionally. I'm sorry to tell you this, brother, but some men can masturbate occasionally after rebooting. It's a natural sexual function. I'm not one of those guys. But porn addicts, you and I know very well that you have watched more porn than any of your male ancestors. Like, think about it. So you've masturbated to and you've seen more naked women than every man in your genetic lineage, stretching back thousands of years. So the truth is, you don't need any more pornography. What you need is healthy, intimate, exciting sex. And some guys say, oh, JK, in moderation, maybe I can taper off it. No, occasional use and moderation does not work for the vast majority of men. You can't taper off this. And I've worked with over 700 male clients, and I honestly have never seen it happen. Maybe a handful of times, but it's just negligible. A crack addict can't occasionally use crack. A porn addict can't occasionally use porn either. So what you need to do is you need to commit to rebooting. The fourth belief is that, life won't be fun. I won't be fun without porn. I won't be fun without out of control sexual behavior and masturbation. And you believe that sex is the key component of fun. Now, don't get me wrong. Sex is absolutely amazing. It's among my top 5 fun things to do, but it's not the only requirement for fun. Now, in my 20s, I thought that life was nothing without sex. Sex was number one. And what a fool I was, because I wasted so many years. Until today, I'm still paying the price. over 11 years after my reboot. And the sad thing about this belief is how powerful, it is. Sex is best enjoyed when it is controlled. When you control it, you learn how to understand its fleeting nature. It teaches you what everything from orgasm to pain to life. It teaches you that it's all temporary. However, when it's your only means of having fun, you actually learn nothing. It eventually becomes a curse. It becomes a temporary pleasure, which you've unnaturally prolonged through high-speed online pornography and all the escalating sexual tastes that come with it. So give yourself a chance to experience the thousands of other forms of fun that we are fortunate to have access to as human beings. Sexual pleasure can still be high up in your list of priorities, but not so high that it makes you lose sight of all the other pleasures that life has to offer. The fifth belief is, I'm worried that I will turn into someone that I don't like. Now, you believe that men who quit porn and masturbation are maybe repressed or estranged or very conservative or uncool or square or asexual, whatever you want to call it. But the funny thing is that you already don't like yourself, right? And many men believe the same till they quit porn and they became the best versions of themselves. You only fear who you will become when you look to the wrong recovery role models. Here's what I mean. Recovery and rebooting should make you the man you aspire to be. And this is why so many men avoid certain recovery groups, because you walk in, you look around during your first meeting and you go like, hell no. If this is what a recovered man looks like, I'd much rather stick to pornography, right? So personally, letting go of porn took me to another dimension in life. And I don't mean this in a spiritual way, brothers. I mean that I tapped into a world of increased self-belief, a world of incredible discipline, an awareness of the world which I never had. And for the first time, I accessed true courage. I was able to face my fears over and over again. And that's something a man must do to move forward in life. But from the age of 14 to the age of 24, porn just hit that pause button in my life. And rebooting was unpause and fast forward for me, right? The sixth belief is, I can't make all the necessary changes required to reboot. So you resist changing your environment. You don't believe that you can implement everything that is required of you to end your behavior with pornography. Now, if you don't take the steps to change your life, what's going to happen is that your addiction is going to step in anyway, and it's going to make a plan with life to change it for you. And it won't be gentle about it either. And, just like a pool of water which stays stagnant becomes this breeding ground for bacteria, for mold and parasites, and eventually it starts making everybody around it sick, so too does the porn addict who resists change. You become a breeding ground for anger, for depression, for negativity, for perversion, right? The seventh belief is the belief that, man, JK, I have a family. I don't want to lose my family. You still hold on to very deep secrets. The porn, the affairs, the genres of pornography that you watch, which leave you in disgust of yourself after orgasm. JK, man, if my wife knew, I am 100% sure that she would leave me. Now, I can't say whether your wife would leave you or not, but I do know that there is no greater motivation to end your behavior than the fear of a man losing his family. And until that level of responsibility is actually harnessed, you can use it as something to drive you. Until you get to that point, many married men are going to cower under the shadow of the fear of losing their family. That's a terrible fear to have. You're so busy worrying about losing your family that, brother, you fail to see that you're losing your life. You're already robbing your wife of a husband and your children of their father. Think about it. The eighth belief is that recovery is too much work, dude. Recovery and rebooting my brain, dude, is so much work. And you believe that there must be an easier way. So you join stop fapping forums, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, you take advice from 20-year-olds who haven't even sprouted facial hair, and you buy all these cheap quit porn quick or porn free books and courses. Do you think recovery is too much work? You think recovery is too much work? Too much work is deleting your browser history twice a day. Too much work is trying to give yourself a pep talk every day and trying to get motivated because you screwed up your dopamine levels due to your porn binges. Too much work is struggling to get an erection every night because PIED has completely ruined your sex drive. Too much work is giving your girlfriend or your wife excuses as to why you don't find her attractive anymore. Too much work is brainwashing yourself every day to convince yourself that you're a good father. Too much work is hoping human resources isn't tracking your online activity. Too much work is juggling, 3 or 4 side pieces and mistresses and lying to your wife. Too much work is trying to be financially successful while you struggle with brain fog and lack of motivation brought about by your addiction. You get the point. Recovery work has a payoff. Nothing that I just mentioned has a reward attached to it. The 9th belief is the belief that, my cravings are going to be overwhelming. I won't be able to resist them. And you basically believe that there isn't anything that's more powerful than your sexual cravings, right? And this is why some systems use a higher power. Why? Because you decided to give up your own power to a craving that comes from within you. Now you've been convinced that you need something greater than you to save you from your own creation. How crazy is that? Your cravings don't come from some mysterious place in the heavens or in hell. They were always within you. But the difference is that they were harnessed. They were naturally bound and at your bidding. That's how your biology set it up. But you neglected what you were in charge of. You let it roam free. And now it's feral, it's wild, it's out of control. It's like an out of control animal. When you whip it, it just cowers for a moment. And when it's chained, it snaps its shackles easily, a little too easily. And now you're afraid of it, you're awed by it. And you place it on a pedestal. And you have given this beast free reign all over your life. It's terrorizing your family, your lover, your passions, your career, your peace of mind. But the important thing to understand is that a wild beast can be tamed, but it will have to be broken in first. And the right system will teach you how to do that. The 10th belief is the belief that, if I stop, I'll only start up again because I've never finished anything that I tried to do. And porn addicts are not finishers. This is a fact. It's a biological fact. The impact of porn on the prefrontal cortex of your brain, which regulates your motivation, your ability to prioritize, to focus, and to organize tasks, it's had a negative impact on it. That's one of the reasons why you can't finish anything you start. So as a result, you have all these unfinished projects. You have all these awesome ideas, all these goals that are just sitting somewhere gathering cobwebs, right? However, with daily accountability, measuring your victories, guidance with setting the right goals, building up your momentum the correct way, you will become a finisher. So unlike regular men who simply need to, apply willpower, you are constrained biologically because you're a porn addict. You need help, and the right recovery system is going to show you how to accomplish this. So the important thing to understand is that the act of finishing a project for a recovering porn addict is actually a skill set that you can learn. The 11th belief is that, no one has to know if I relapse, right? And this is one of the biggest killers of your reboot. Secrecy. And brothers, I get it, right? You're grown men. It's your private sexual life, and you don't feel that anybody needs to know when you relapse. But the question is, how do you plan to stay accountable? Oh, you're gonna stay accountable to yourself, right? Well, how's that worked out for you so far? Listen. Porn addiction thrives in secrecy. A relapse is an opportunity to learn from your addiction. So saying that, I'll keep my relapse to myself is like choosing to sit in your own crap after you've crapped yourself, right? I found the source of the stench and it sure does stink, but, it's uncomfortable, but it's mine, right? Now, building the habit of accountability every time you relapse is absolutely key to your recovery. The 12th belief is, I'm worried that I've been so damaged by my porn addiction that I won't be able to recover. And this is a very common fear because you feel that your entire life has been permanently changed by your addiction. And you feel as if, you know what, this is just who I am, right? And nothing changes this belief like seeing and hearing firsthand from men who have successfully controlled their behavior with porn and masturbation. And this is the power of community. Honestly, sometimes all you need to believe in yourself is just seeing another man who is just like you accomplish what you thought was impossible. You know, every year Olympic world records are broken simply because other athletes' belief in what was possible was raised by one individual's triumph. So imagine being around dozens of individuals, dozens of men who have been even more damaged by their porn addiction, but made a full recovery and live absolutely thriving lives. Now, you may wonder why nothing you try ever seems to work out for you. Well, the roadblock standing in the way of your freedom could be one of the beliefs that I mentioned. Listen, rebooting is simple when you can identify which of the beliefs hold you back. It's simple, but it's not easy. Easy only comes when you make the decision to get help and walk the path with others. You cannot do it on your own. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Whenever you're ready, there are 4 ways that I can help you end your compulsive behavior with porn and masturbation. The first way is to grab a free copy of my book. Now, it's the roadmap to ending your porn and masturbation addiction. It's called Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. There's a link to it in the description below. The second way is to join our Reboot Facebook group and join men who are ending their behavior as well. You can get accountability partners, workbooks, and support. There's a link to it in the description as well. The third way is to get on a free call with me or with one of my team members, and we can help you put together a recovery plan and find out if you're a good fit for one of our programs. And the fourth way is to watch one of our free trainings. We've got a few free courses such as 20 Ways to Quit Porn and 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men, which is a free 45-minute training. There's a link to it in the description as well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Share, let me know what the belief that's been holding you back is. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you later in the week. Have a great day.